Alrighty. So I'm going to work with Rue again. Yes, please. And then you can place Lucille here.
She's already going.
So with the healing exercise, we tend to let the dog pull and use the aversive. So bring them back here and go no, heel, right? Walking, they start to pull, no, heel. And there's a constant back and forth. It's the worst way to train, but heel, okay?
Okay.
What is that?
Back. Back.
Yeah. There she goes. Very good. So I don't want to ever argue with the dog, okay? Because this approach of them pulling ahead, punishing it, and trying to get them to walk here requires them to understand that pulling is a bad thing and that they're supposed to walk with you. That's not how it's supposed to be. Like, she's not supposed to have this, right? She's supposed to be free. She's supposed to be out peeing, pooping, mating, hunting, and all that stuff, right? This is what we use as humans in order to have our dogs safely. So what we want to teach her, what a dog to do is actually to pay attention to us. So clearly, Rue's not paying any attention to me, right? So I want to start teaching her now that when we're moving, that this means to follow my lead, okay? So when you see me raise my hand, I'm tapping. When I'm saying tap, of course I'm tapping. I teach dogs to heel on the left. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay. So we're at 40 here. Tap, 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 35, tap, 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 tap. Good. Good.
This dog. I don't know this dog.
Tap, 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 tap. Back to 40. Tap. Tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Good. Tap. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. Good. Tap. Good. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Good. Tap. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Good. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. Good. 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 Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap. Good. Now, I'm noticing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Do you know what that pattern is? It's a really common one too.
Anytime there's any change, she's confused again. I'm not sure.
This way is easier for her.
Yeah.
Why?
Towards us?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
So here, this is where she gets distracted,
Yeah.
right? Tap, tap,
Yeah.
tap, tap, tap. 45, tap. Good. And these turns easier, right? A little bit better. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap. Good. Good. Tap. Good. Better. Tap. Good. 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 Tap, tap. Good. And a girl. Tap. Good. Great. Great. I'm going to give her a moment's rest here.
Right.
So what do we see?
She's easily distracted.
Yeah, right. I'm at 45 now, right? And I started at 40. And she's just learning this, right? So I'm giving her a little bit of leeway there.
Yeah.
So it was getting her attention fairly easily.
Yeah.
But then when we would turn, she'd start smelling stuff,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of movement in order for me to get her to lock in, plus finding a number that's going to be more appropriate to her personality type.
Yeah.
So then I start to get more attention from her.
Yeah.
I think I heard a couple of whose dog is this
Yeah.
comments.
I know she's being good. I've never seen her walk good ever.
So
Unless she's exhausted.
Yeah, unless
Sure.
she's very tired.
So here, what was I doing to get her to start paying attention to me?
The change.
Tapping.
The change in direction.
Yes.
Okay.
Changing the direction. Super important paired with the tapping.
Okay.
So for her, if she goes and I punish her for pulling, she jumps back and I go heel. She doesn't understand those things, right? So what I do is I go, okay, you want to go that way? Sure. But I have this thing that's going to annoy you. I'm going to keep annoying you until you follow me, right?
Okay.
So for Rue, she feels it. I don't like this. While Jessie's going that way, she catches up and stops. She's not trained yet. She passes. I turn again. She feels it. Jessie's going that way.
Yeah.
It stops. Right? And I keep repeating that pattern. And eventually she goes, all right, there's something going on with me and Jessie, because every time I pass him up or I'm not paying attention to him, this goes off.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm here in this little pocket, it goes away.
Yeah.
And there was a couple where I tapped and she lagged and you saw her kind of speed up
Yeah.
and move in to my left side, right?
Yeah.
So she's starting to associate, much like with going to the bed, that coming to my left side causes this to go away. It becomes the safe place. Okay? And I was relaxed. I was using a little bit of tension sometimes if she resisted too much, or if she came to my right side to give her direction to come to my left, paired with the remote. Okay? So much like with place, if I start tapping, I can't expect the dog to just figure it out.
Yeah.
Directional pressure, right? But this gets them to do the behavior at the end, okay? The leash is simply guiding her and telling her, if you want to turn this off, you want to move in the direction of the leash, okay? So then I start to do more minute movements, real slow, and I started turning like this, right? And on some of them, she missed them, or she would just be there and I would turn away.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Right? And then towards the end, you saw me just kind of turning like this, and for her to do about 3/4 of it, and the remote allowing her to finish the rest, because now she's starting to associate, when you move, things happen if I don't move with you.
Yeah.
Okay? Questions so far?
So on a walk, when she's pulling, we tap, tap, tap until she...
So what?
We do a change of direction then tap.
Correct.
Okay.
Or simultaneous, right? So let's say
Yeah.
we go for a walk, come outside, potty break first. Okay, make that easy. Just pee poop, good, you're done. I start moving, tap, 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 boom, right? Much like with the place, tap means here. At that moment, she's clocked in, okay? We're walking with Rue. Let's say you walk 3 blocks, no problem, but then she starts to forge, then you would tap and turn, okay? So you don't turn for no reason, unless you have to, or if she's passing, okay? Now there's things that I'm doing already, and I'll teach you, but something we want to keep in mind is if you're walking with Rue, and let's say she's doing great, she's here, right? You're like, wow, she's not pulling, she's right next to me, this is awesome, and then you're going to come to a stop, keeps going
Yeah.
because it's too abrupt.
Okay.
So one thing I want you guys to get used to now is when you're walking with any of the dogs and you're doing the heeling exercise, is anytime you're going to stop or turn, always slow down.
Okay.
Okay? So with driving, what do we do before we stop?
Slow down. Yeah.
What do we do before we turn? Right? So same thing for the dog. I just want you to keep that in mind,
Yeah.
okay? Because if you as a human know I'm going to stop, she does not,
Yeah.
right? She needs direction.
Okay.
So when you slow down, if Rue's paying attention, what should she do?
Slow down.
She should slow down.
Yeah.
If she's not paying attention, what's she going to do?
She's gonna keep going.
And then what do you do?
Yeah.
And
Turn.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So by slowing down, it allows me to test, are you paying attention? She does it, tap, 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 boom, right? Because you're teaching her.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing your job of slowing down to cue her, she should be able to do it as long as she's paying attention.
Okay.
If she's not, it's telling you she's not, you correct her. Okay? I'll do one more little run here. Good. And tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap. Good. Good. Tap, 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 tap.
There we go. She's paying attention.
Good. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Tap. Good. 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 Tap. Good. Don't worry about that way. Look this way.
Yeah.
Good. Leash. Stop. Right? Yeah. Good. Good. Good girl. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good. Good.
I feel kind of bad because I always assumed she was such high energy that she was kind of stupid and she wouldn't understand stuff. But she's not stupid. Yeah.
So, I've trained many a untrainable dog.
Yeah.
Okay, and the owner they're like, Jess, is my dog stupid? Just tell me.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but you've had stupid trainers.
Yeah.
Okay, I've not had a dog
Yeah.
not learn with these approaches.
Okay.
Okay, I have like a handful of exercises that always work.
Yeah.
Some just take a lot more work than others.
Yeah.
So like teaching a dog to lay down via remote is very unnatural. And I use the same approach for all dogs. And it always works. I've had a couple of dogs take about half an hour for them to get the initial down. But after that,
Yeah.
they just do it, right? And I watch other trainers and they're like, we try to use eight different approaches on how to teach this dog how to down. They didn't work. So we're trying to figure out what's going to work for this dog. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, just do it this way.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. Not had it ever, never, ever not work. Because we overthink things.
Yeah.
Dogs are very simple.
Yeah.
Okay? So as long as we have the appropriate tools,
Yeah.
it should be that quick. Okay? Now I'm at 45 and we're inside.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to just make that known to you guys.
Right.
So when you work at home, like you mentioned, inside the house was higher,
Yeah.
which, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I would imagine same thing outside.
Yeah.
Okay? Who wants to go first? So main thing I want you to remember is you will always be making an about right turn. Okay? So when Rue passes, if my arm is Rue, she goes tapping and always turning to your immediate right at a 180, right? So you're always like this. She passes, boom, 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 boom. She passes, boom, 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 and then relax. Okay, so relax that arm. Relax it. There you go. Now move. Okay, good. And relax. Relax. Now here, pull your left calf. There you go. Now relax. Yep. Keep turning. There you go. Relax. Good. Yep. You're good. Forward. Relax. Good. Forward. Yep. Pull your left calf. Good. Relax. Good. Go to the right turn. Relax your arm. Go to slow. Or stop. Okay. Relax. Good. So here, because it's natural, right, for you, because we're so used to physically controlling dogs, is now you want to unlearn all that stuff. Okay, everybody does it when they start working with me. So the reason for this, okay, is your leash is communication from you to her and from Rue to you. Okay, so go get a good grip on your leash and go to relax. Okay, relax and get a good grip like that. Okay, if you feel this, what does this tell you? And where? That way, right? Feel this, what does that tell you? She's lagging, right? So if I'm relaxed, I know there's no tension. And if Rue's paying attention, boom, you're parallel to each other, right? It's completely slack.
Yeah.
So if I'm walking with Rue, and I start to feel my arm go back, tap, 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 because you're supposed to be here. But then if she starts to go this way, turn, tap, 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 she's here. Then I start to feel this side, tap, 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 boom, she's here, right? So by being relaxed, you're allowing Rue to communicate to you when she's not paying attention. Okay? When you do your turns, because if you're turning and you're pulling Rue at the same time, it's kind of like the place you're just making her do it.
Yeah.
And you want her to follow your lead, right? So you don't want to have to do anything, period.
Okay.
So if you turn, so here, there was one where I went like this, and I turned and Rue stayed there, and I tapped, and she went boom. Right? I didn't use the leash, I just used the remote, and she self-corrected. That's what we're trying to create here,
Okay.
is that you're using the remote as much as possible to condition her what she's supposed to do. The more you use your leash, the more it becomes a part of the training, right? Because then she's always reliant on needing the leash to turn with you,
Okay.
because it's a direction, right? So unless she goes to the wrong side, which shows it right, and you tap, you pull to your left, that was correct, to bring her over. Eventually, she's going to go to your right side, you're going to tap, and without any leash pressure, she'll come back to your left again.
Yeah.
You're conditioned her already, okay?
Yep.
At the end, I had you slow down, right? You were walking, I said slow, she slowed down with you, you came to a stop, and she's here. Now, this isn't perfect,
Right.
okay? But right now, all I care about is you learning how to get Rue to be here.
Yeah.
Okay, your visual, your left leg should be parallel to her her right shoulder. Okay, so go ahead and curve in just a little bit like that. Okay, take a tiny little step back, right there. This is what heel looks like.
Right.
Okay, so a slack leash, dog's right shoulder lined up with your left leg. Of course, the nose is going to poke out a little bit. That's perfectly fine, but I go by the shoulder here.
Yeah.
Okay, always parallel or a little bit behind, never ahead. So if her shoulder, like here, like this, right?
Yeah.
She's technically an inch ahead of you. So if you saw that happening, you'd want to turn it correct. Okay? So dogs can learn to be aware of where the placement is, and they'll learn to kind of take that little bit.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm walking with you, but I still get to do what I want, right? Where I want to always be as parallel as possible. Okay? The more black and white you are, the better she is.
Okay.
Okay? So let me have you go ahead and make a right turn here. Yep. Good. That's fine. Relax your left arm. You're good. There you go. Back and turn it. Tap. Forward. Good. And relax. Good. And I'll have you just kind of do like a square here. Tap, tap, turn, tap, tap, turn again, tap, to your right, that one, there, tap, here you go, relax. Good. Relax left arm, keep going, good. Tap, yep, there she goes, good. Yep, keep moving, good. Relax, good, forward, turn, yep, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Tap to your left, tap, pull to your left, tap, tap, there she goes, and relax, good, keep moving, and right turn. Yep, tap, tap, yep, right turn again, tap, and relax your arm, good. There it is, good. Tap, yep, you're good, tap, there she goes, to your left, tap, tap, good, keep moving, yep, tap, good. Yep, to your left, tap, keep moving, tap, tap, there you go, good.
Is there a reason she keeps wanting to go to the other side?
Yeah, opposition reflex.
Oh, okay.
So, go ahead and slow to stop. There we go. Give a little tap here, see what happens. Tap. Tap again, there it is. Tap, tap, tap. So I was gonna see if she would have popped her head out and went to the left, right? So, opposition reflex means when the dog feels pressure, they want to go against it.
Right, you were talking about that last week.
So since she's pulling and you needed to pull, okay, to direct her, her brain is telling her to go this way,
Yeah.
but the world is telling her to go this way, right? It's normal.
Okay.
So directional pressure is okay, as long as we're not doing a bulk of the work, to help guide her through the remote. Eventually she will learn, oh, when I feel tension, don't go against it, move with it, okay? As you work with her during the week, it's going to be much easier, especially like if you have a trail, because now you have grass, and trail, right? It makes it more defined as opposed to here where it's just open space.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I actually wanted to do a flooring that looked like a path to make it easier for the dog and the human to kind of keep on track, as opposed to here where you can just kind of like wander. And like there's no real clear picture, right? So once you get home and you have like either a straight sidewalk, it makes it much easier because it's literally back and forth because there is no right, there is no left, okay? But the basic foundation is always going opposite to her until she realizes tap means to come here, okay? Let's go ahead and swap handlers.
Okay. No. We personify them so much, like they have their own little voices. I feel like
I talked to all three of them during the day.
Oh, really?
I did the voices for all three.
she's got a
And you
protective
can
voice.
keep doing that stuff, right?
Yeah, okay.
I'm just
Yeah. You know, when I, like, at the end of the day, I always tell everybody, your house, your rules, right?
Yeah.
And like I say, I'll like, I'll look at the doggo or dog, right?
Yeah,
Like I'll,
yeah.
like memes, like I like it too, I enjoy it. But I also know that dogs are dogs.
Right.
And I think people get so stuck
Yeah.
that they
For sure.
forget to separate,
Yeah.
right? Between social media and like, this is an animal.
Right.
Right? Like, have you guys ever seen the quokkas or quokkas in
No.
Australia? It's Quokka, okay? And they look like the happiest animals in the world, and they are super cute.
Yeah.
They always look like they're smiling, okay? And when I see them, I'm just like, man, I wonder if this animal, like, if this animal is like a really big asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But I swear, look them up, and
Yeah.
your heart will melt. They are so cute.
Right.
And you see people taking selfies with them,
Yeah.
and they're just like smiling
Yeah.
in every picture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's probably some stories.
Tap your face.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? So same thing for the dog.
Yeah.
You can keep doing your voices, you
Yeah.
can keep having that,
Yeah.
but you want to be able to have the control
Right.
of like, okay, now no,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
mean business.
Yeah.
Okay?
That makes sense.
So I'm gonna have you do the same thing here. I'm gonna have you start walking with Brew, and one Brew, which I'll say Bruce.
Right.
Brew. Yeah, and relax your arm. Good. Give a little bit of slack here. Yep, good, relax. Now turn. Tap. Good, relax. Relax. There you go.
relaxing
Yeah.
my arm.
Yes.
I didn't realize I was doing it until you say something.
Yep.
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 Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. You're okay. Good. This is good. Now slow walk here. Are you a fast walker?
Yeah. Not as fast as him, but yes.
Go to slower. And slower.
Yeah, I gotta remember to slow down for the turns.
Good. Go ahead and turn again. Yep. Good. Relax your arm. Good. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There she is. Good. Okay. Good. There she goes. Better. That's okay for now. We're going to turn. Now slow walk. Slower. Slower. Stop. Okay. So I can always tell my fast walkers.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay that you walk fast, but you want to be aware.
Yeah.
Because with my fast walkers, boom, the dog keeps going, right?
Yeah.
They're like, Jesse, the dog doesn't pay attention, they keep walking past me when I stop. And I go, because you're not slowing down.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm like, you probably are compared to your speed,
Right.
but it's not slow enough for the dog. So what I do is, if we're walking fast, we go slow, slower, slower, stop. Okay? So my general rule is 2 to 3 steps of slowing down. If I'm walking at this pace, generally 1, 2, 3 is enough. But if we have a really fast walker, they need like 9.
Okay. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, stop. So it's like 90 steps. Where they're going slow, slower, slower, stop, right? So when you're walking with Rue, and you see she's not stopping with you, it's you, okay? And just think, Jesse said, if my dog's not paying attention, it's because I'm not slowing down enough. So if she was able to walk here with you perfectly for blocks, and all of a sudden she just goes,
Yeah.
that's why, okay? So then it makes you more self-aware. You can walk as slow as you want for as long as you want to get that perfect stop until you find your balance.
Okay.
Once you're more self-aware, you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to have you do the same thing. I'm going to have you actually for this one just go straight back and forth.
Okay.
And remembering to change your pace. Yep. And turn. Yep. Yep. That's correct. Good. Yep. Good. Uh-huh. Good. Go and speed up. And slow. And stop. And this is okay for now. There we go. She closed the gap a little bit,
Yeah.
right? So when you're walking with Rue,
Yeah.
this is okay. What you might start to see, so here, she curved out a little bit like this, right?
Yeah, like in front of me.
What you might start seeing is she's going to curve out completely like this. Do we know why this is?
She's anticipating the turn.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay? It's a problem, but it's a good problem. It's a problem because if you're trying to walk straight, your dog's in front of you.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, what you do is just move with your right leg first to bump her out the way and continue forward. And eventually she'll learn, if I place myself here, I'm going to get knee. Okay? If you move with your left leg, you're going to push her butt out that way, which would be the wrong side. So right leg pushes her back to your left. Correct. We don't need perfect right now. I just need you to be able to walk with her.
Yeah.
You know, so if you do a 15-minute walk and you don't have to turn and she's right beside you,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to, that's what we're wanting.
Yeah.
You're only turning if she's passing you. Okay? Turning and tapping. Always without parents. With progress, it should always be a decline. So if today you go home and you practice for 30 minutes and you count 30 turns, 1 a minute, right? Then I go, okay, cool, today was 30 turns on 45. And then tomorrow you go out, practice for 30 minutes, and there's 30 turns on 45. 30 turns on 45. What does that tell us? No, you're too low.
Too low? Oh, you got to turn it.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Because I wanted it should be 30 turns in 30 minutes, to 15 turns in 30 minutes, to 10 turns in 30 minutes, to 5, to 1 every other day, to 1 once a month, right? It should always be a decline.
Okay.
So if I know 45 gets me 30 turns, 30 minutes, then I go 50
Yeah.
and see what's the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, still a lot, 55, 60, so you're just changing a little bit.
Yeah.
Until you realize, oh man, we go on 65 and it's like once I have to maybe turn.
Yeah.
Like she's perfect. 65 is her magic number, okay? At least within that context.
Okay.
You go to a new neighborhood, you go to a trail, it might be 85 for that perfect number.
Yeah.
Once we teach the concept of heal, okay, it's not rocket science. I could take Rue right now to a park and within 5-10 minutes having her healing perfect. Because I know how to find that number, because I know she already has a concept of it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of making it important enough to her in that new environment to actually do it.
Okay.
And it just comes down to number.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you have her on place and maybe like a really favorite person of hers comes to the door and she always breaks place to greet them, and you're always on 35 and like, Jesse, it's not working, she keeps going. And I go, okay, go to 65.
Yeah.
Sooner or later that person is still going to be her favorite, but she's going to go, you know what? Being on place is more important than jumping off and saying hi to you because of this consequence.
Okay.
Okay? So it's super simple.
Yeah.
Questions about this?
Good. Yeah, it's very similar. It was years ago now when we were learning with Bruce, but the doubling back,
Mhm.
that's coming back to me. That was part of it, yeah.
Bruce would always go ahead, and that was a change of direction
Mhm.
with the pitch.
The prong collar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the prong collar, it's the same concept,
Yeah.
except with the prong, we would either
Right.
apply a direction,
Yeah.
and then it would get the dog's attention, the dog goes the
Right.
opposite way.
So this one, it's slightly
The
shorter
press
for
over.
this.
He'd
Yes.
always say, he's like, just turn the direction and then let the collar
Self-correct, yeah.
Yeah.
self-correct, and the dog's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happens
Actually,
with that approach is it's good for teaching. So, because again, it's technically unfair.
Yeah.
Because the dog doesn't understand, right? Is that when I do that approach, when I've done that approach, if we're doing prong collar, the dog goes, you go the opposite way, right? The tension leads to the correction, and the dog self-corrects.
Yeah.
The problem is, sometimes for certain personalities, it's not enough of a correction, right? Because of the momentum. So then, after a couple of weeks, I go, okay, you know the groundwork for what we're supposed to do. Then when I turn, the correction is directly coming from me. So it makes it more immediate as opposed to allowing 6 feet of stack to go happen.
That makes sense.
With this tool, I can, right off the bat, just increase the power and go, you're going to do this.
Yep.
With the prong, especially with a guy like Bruce, like, good luck.
No. Well,
So-
granted, this is when he was 100
Oh,
pounds
baby.
lighter.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, because he's at what now?
We just took him to the vet on Friday.
Almost
He's 170 now.
Jeez. Oh,
He
He's
needs to lose about
crazy.
15 pounds.
Sure, that's
Yeah.
still a lot of dog though.
It's a lot of dog, yeah.
Yes.
Well, and that's eventually later on something we want to work on because we did have some problems with getting his vaccines in at the vet. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot to him. He's bucking and
Oh, sure,
Oh, he's just
sure.
big, like,
CJ got really scratched up trying to when they were trying to draw his blood for the fecal test or for the
Oh, I see.
ring
it was just
test.
his paw came down.
Yeah.
But like, he was.
He's
I
not
had to bear
mean
him
or
up.
aggressive. When he doesn't want to do something, he's not going to do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to because he's bigger than
He's so
us.
big, yeah.
And he knows he's big.
Yeah.
So, so for your this week, I know we didn't get to touch on Lucille too much, but take the same stuff and apply it to her.
Okay.
Same thing with Bruce. Apply it to him, right?
Yep.
Just start getting some groundwork in.
Great.
The exercise is very simple. We just have to find the right number, and keep it easy, just a straight back and forth. So if you have a path or a sidewalk, to make it very clear cut for you, it'll help you see that
Okay.
much more clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
So good job, everybody.
Awesome.
Rue did well.
You did go